TIFU by moving into the same duplex as my ex. So a little backstory, I dated a guy for just shy of 3.5 years and ultimately parted ways with him in the beginning of 2019. This particular ex was quite honestly the worst thing that ever happened to me. Narcissist, pathological liar, mentally and emotionally abusive. You know, that kind of ex. All of which is an incredibly important mention for this story. In July of 2019, I sparked up a new relationship with someone else, whom I married in November 2021. In September 2021, my now husband and I were abruptly hit with news that we'd need to move from where we were staying because the original owners, my parents, I took over their mortgage for a few years so they could live across the country, were coming back home. As anybody who's been in the search of a home lately knows, the prices are absolutely insane. So, we decided that since I have a job that allows me to travel, we'd do that for a while. Between October and December, we traveled around. But between some minor car issues, grief with the death of my best friend, and my husband ready to find work of his own again, we decided we wanted to try and settle down. My husband's friend let him know of a duplex that was becoming available and gave us the landlord's information. I knew that the price of rent would be a steal, so I did not hesitate to jump on the opportunity. And by the end of December, we had signed the lease and moved in. As I was neatly stacking some boxes in our new living room, my husband walked in and went, "So, I'm pretty sure your ex is our neighbor." I laughed at him and went, "No, he's not, stop." However, he insisted that it was him. I texted our landlord and casually said, "Hey, so I forgot to ask you what our immediate neighbor's name was so we could be better acquainted when we finally meet them." In which he very shortly replied with my EX's name. As for why my description of him in the beginning was important, I didn't feel anything at all when it was confirmed that it was my ex living next door. I actually spent the following 30 minutes in tears from laughter because of course that would be the nail in my 2021 coffin. I'm not mad, I'm not sad. I feel absolutely nothing at all about it, and after everything, I couldn't feel more empowered. TLDR. Was in an extremely toxic relationship with someone between 2015 to 2019. Got married to someone absolutely amazing. Moved into a new duplex with my new husband, and my ex lives directly next door to us, in the same duplex. Same house, just a wall between his side and ours. Well, as my dad used to tell me, living well is the best revenge you can give. Make sure you beam happiness with your hubby and make sure the sex is extra loud. Might be a good idea to invest in some basic security cameras. Am I the only one that found it a bit rude that your parents decided to come back and kick y'all out? I'm so sorry for the loss of your best friend. Be careful. This kind of person doesn't tend to take getting one-upped well. By all means, live well, just make sure you're covered. Watch your mail too. My sister owned a duplex, lived in one side, rented out the other. The renters ended up stealing their mail and then their identities for a while. Living well is the best revenge. You should sell this as the plot of a sitcom. I feel your pain up. I moved into the place I live about 6 years ago and things were fine until about 3 years ago when I found out my mom's ex moved in. I hadn't seen him in decades and was flat out convinced he was dead. Nope, the bastard shows back up with another fucking kid. He's also my sister's sperm donor. Now I have to pass by his place every single time I need to do my laundry. I'm glad you have your husband by your side who knows what he's like. It isn't a bedroom wall you share, is it? I'd be having the most aggressive sex in front of the shared wall. Please make sure you inform your landlord about this. Just mentioning he's your ex and that things didn't end very civil. No need to spill all the dirt yet. If I know one thing about these guys is they'll try to own the narrative and will tell your landlord their side of the story. So if, let's hope not, he decides to make your life hell, make sure you write everything down and your landlord knows about it beforehand. This way I hope he maybe has less power. Glad to see you're in a good place now. Tulip. I know people here are encouraging you to plot for louder radio. But I am sort of worried. I don't get it. How's this a fuck up? Nothing bad seemed to have happened? Indifference is the opposite of love. Good luck. Time to make sure that he was easily replaced and you got a new and improved upgraded model. Glad you, and your husband, aren't stressed or uncomfortable. Honestly, thank you for sharing. I have a similar ex that I still have to see at certain functions, and this gives me hope. Best of luck to you and your husband in your endeavors. In a country of 300 million plus, things like these will happen due to random chance, and more than we'd expect. Sorry for you, hope all goes well. A TIFU you don't regret isn't a TIFU, in a bad way.